Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey, guys, it's Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello, welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Berryfield, and I am here solo tonight because I do want to go through a Bruin postgame because the Bruins are going to the national title game, and they're going to play South Carolina in the
Go Bruins, right?
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins in the championship game, and we are very excited about that after they beat Texas tonight in a tough game, 51-44. And I have all sorts of live reporting. We have some listener that called in. We'll play that, and then plus we have from the arena, the Godfather gives us kind of more than quarterly reports. Him and the St. Maryland were sitting in the arena. They've been pumped up about this Final Four for over a year when the Godfather bought the tickets, way back when. You heard about that on the show earlier, last week. And he gives us some great reporting. The Godfather is a veteran. He's reported at NBA Finals games in the 80s and other things like that. And so we are absolutely thrilled and lucky to have him reporting live from the Women's Final Four. We will get to that in a minute. But I want to kind of start before the game happened. We had a couple calls that didn't make the show this last week. And even though now we know the final result, and that is the UCLA Bruins, the women's basketball team is going to the championship game against South Carolina, let's kind of marinate this and enjoy it and kind of go from before the game, through the game, and then after the game and celebrate this like we should. So first, I forgot, it's the What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show network. Thank you for your support. If you have something to say about the championship game that's coming up on Sunday, or you want to talk about the Final Four game where the Bruins just beat Texas to advance to the championship game, call the hotline, 805-399-4WBS, second reign of Troy. And we're going to have some hotline calls in just a minute. So let's enjoy that. Also, you can email the show at whatsbruinshow@gmail.com, or you can tweet us or X us at whatsbruinshow. So that's all there for you to enjoy. And thank you very much for your contributions. Now, Carrie called in, our dear listener, Carrie, who met up with Nancy at the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games and did some live reporting for us. I know some of you guys enjoyed that, and we really appreciate that. She called a couple times this last week, and I didn't see the call when I recorded the show with the Godfather a few days ago. So we're probably not going to play that call, Carrie. I love you, but I apologize for that. But I am going to play the first couple seconds because Carrie sounds so nice when she says hello.
Hey, What's Bruin Show? This is Carrie.
Doesn't she sound lovely there? But then she goes on to talk about stuff that's kind of like timed out now. But she then called back after we recorded the show, and she wants to talk about the upcoming match against Texas that we just saw the UCLA beat. But let's see what she has to say about that. Another call from Carrie.
Hi, What's Bruin Show. This is Carrie. I really enjoyed going to the women's Elite 8 Final Four game, Elite 8 to Final Four game.
And thank you, Carrie.
Nancy and I had a great time. And, Texas looks really, really good. They will be a very tough out. In fact, I think Texas may be playing better than UConn right now. That doesn't mean that UConn can't beat them, but Texas is definitely peaking at the right time.
Thank you very much, Carrie. And then she goes on to talk about men's basketball and her thoughts on that. And I will try to remember to plug that back in when we do the proper show next Tuesday. But for right now, we're all women's basketball all the time. Women's basketball Final Four victory going on to the championship game against South Carolina at 12:30, I think, Pacific time this Sunday. So let's tune into that. And I want to stay focused on that. So once again, Carrie, Nancy, super clutch, super awesome, reporting for us for the What's Bruin Show at the second weekend of the women's NCAA tournament. And now we have The Godfather and others, it turns out, reporting for us live from Phoenix. So Mike's doing his thing for 24/7 Sports, and that's good. He's actually getting paid to do that. But the What's Bruin Show also has microphones there. We have a few. So let's see what else we got going on with our listeners in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix.
What's up? What's Bruin Show? This is Bob.
What's up, Bob?
My two boys here, Stinson and Basin.
Stinson and
We
Basin.
are in Phoenix. We love the show. I was very impressed with Nancy and Carrie doing the remote interviews from Sacramento. We do the same.
So are we.
Currently, where are we right now, Stinson?
We're heading Bruin Bash.
Bruin Bash. We're going to start off with a little Bruin Bash near the arena. We're excited. Stinson, what do you look for in this game tonight, the semifinal?
Right? Dominating the game.
Is she going to get goated, as the kids say?
Triple-double.
Okay. Basin, who do you like? Dugalich. We're big Dugalich's fans. All right. That's all we got for now. We have the best time of the day, which is before the game, the hype. Everything's great. Hopefully we have an even greater, maybe another call from the arena. Love the show. Anything else, boys?
Go Bruins.
Quick, 8 clap or no? Let's do an 8 clap after the game. Go Bruins. Let's go. Let's get this. Jake, love the show. Mike, hope to see you at the game.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. Go Bruins, right?
Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
That was outstanding. No, and I appreciate that, boys. And good call with Kiki and Dugalich. They were definitely key performers. Kiki iced the game down the stretch. He had 11 points, but very most importantly, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And then Dugalich, I love watching her out there playing. You know, she's coming off the bench, but just an absolute baller, man. And she was only 1 for 5 from the field, but it seemed like she was in the action the entire game. And just the cold Eastern Euro Serbian stare just really kind of gets me going. I really love that. I mean, she's from Illinois, but Serbian roots, and I really appreciate watching her play. So good job, boys, making that call for those two. They definitely were key contributors in the game. And we went on to the Final Four game against Texas. The Bruins end up winning 51-44, but we also had some live reporting from none other than The Godfather, our guest on this last week's show. Him and the St. Maryland were out there watching the game. And so let's hear what The Godfather had to say. He's a veteran reporter, and he gave us some great reporting during this game, starting with the pregame, which happened right after South Carolina upsets UConn to go to the championship game themselves.
We're in between games now here in Phoenix after a huge upset in the first contest. South Carolina had a great second half and snapped UConn's 54-game winning streak, winning the game handily in the end, 62-48. So as I speak now, UCLA and Texas are out on the court. They're warming up for the nightcap, and this is it. Can't wait for this game to begin. When we spoke earlier in the week, Jake, you had asked me who I hoped UCLA would play in the championship game, and I said South Carolina. Well, now there's a chance for the Bruins to have that happen. But Texas is not going to be an easy team to beat. Texas defeated UCLA in the season during the regular season by 11 points, and they're confident, and they want to make it an all-SEC final, which to me would be sort of boring. So go Bruins. They're out there now, and the Saints and I are fired up.
Go Bruins indeed, and the Godfather and the Saint were there, and they got to watch that first half transpire. And the Bruins, it was a game where neither team could shoot, and it's kind of crazy. I did pull some stats, some loose stats. I don't know how exact. These are approximate, but get this. Rounds 1, rounds 2, rounds 3, rounds 4. The first 2 weekends of the NCAA women's tournament, the 1 through 8 seeds, meaning all the favorites, right? The teams that were favored to win the games in the first round, and then the better teams in the second round. They shot somewhere in the neighborhood of 47-ish, 48% from the field combined. That's all, 1 through 8 seeds in all 4 brackets, right? So that's 32 teams. The Final Four tonight, all 4 teams combined to shoot 35%. So I don't know if it's something about the venue necessarily. It's something about the fact that these number 1 seeds finally went against teams that were that were worthy of them, because the number 1 seeds all breezed, except for the Bruins, in their game, kind of breezed into the Final Four. Certainly there was a giant, kind competitive disadvantage for a lot of these games in the women's tournament. But I don't know. Watching this first half, it was like a wrestling match, and the commentators were talking about how physical it was. You could see how physical it was. There were calls that were absolutely there to be made, but the referees swallowed their whistles. And for a good chunk of the game, I don't know. It was just one of those things where it's like you get frustrated by it, but it turned out in the Bruins' favor a lot of the time because there'd be like a scramble or a broken play or something, and the Bruins end up making a nice shot out of it. And Texas just they seemingly never got those shots. So it worked out for the Bruins, but this is an absolute slugfest wrestling match. Gosh, neither team could shoot at all. But the Bruins end up jumping on top in the first quarter, holding Texas to 6 points, outscoring them 14-6 with a couple little spurts there. But then Texas comes back in the second quarter and holds the Bruins to 6 points, and they score 11. And so we go into halftime, and the Bruins are only up by 3 points in a very, very competitive game, and certainly nervous time. So let's see what the Godfather had to say at halftime.
It's halftime now in the second semifinal game here between UCLA and Texas. South Carolina won the first one, 62-48 over UConn. They're into the championship game, and now the Bruins and the Longhorns in a tough defensive struggle. Neither team shooting well. The Bruins jumped out to a 14-4 lead in the first quarter. The score is now 20-17 UCLA at halftime. The Bruins only scored 6 points in the second quarter. 20-17, that's a really low score. Both teams have got to play a little better, you would think, in the second half. So it's nervous time here. I hope the Bruins can do it. We're getting ready to start the second half. That's all for now.
And it was nervous time. And as the Godfather said, it was kind of an ugly game. And then we get to the third quarter, and both teams put up 11 points, and it was just kind of like a back-and-forth slugfest kind of battle. And funny thing about the third quarter, neither team made a shot outside of the key in the entire third quarter. Both teams scored 11 points. Gabby Jaquez had a couple free throws in there. Dugalich had a couple free throws in there. Betts had a couple of key baskets. And one of the, I can't remember what Texas player was keeping them in the game. I think it was Justice, whatever her name was Justice Carlton was keeping the Longhorns in the game, kind of keeping contact with the Bruins heading into the fourth quarter. But then the fourth quarter happens, and the Bruins kind of open it up a little bit. And let's hear the Godfather talk about that some.
You can hear the UCLA band playing in the background. We are the mighty Bruins. Not looking so mighty tonight. The only consolation is Texas is playing worse than UCLA. It's 31-28 now after three quarters. Each team scored just 11 points in that third quarter. But the Bruins had a 29-21 lead at one point. Texas came roaring back, and they cut it to 31-28, as I said. So we are getting ready to start the fourth and final period.
Well, it was an ugly game, but the Godfather is right, and the mighty Bruins did come out to play in the first part of the fourth quarter. They outscored the Longhorns 11-2 to start the fourth quarter behind Kiki Rice and Lauren Betts, and I think Gabby Jaquez had a point or two in there as well. And they build a 10-point lead, and later get all the way up to like a 13-point lead until Texas starts to winnow it down late in the game. But that's really where the game was won, in my opinion. They start that fourth quarter, and the Bruins come out and just really dominate the action and are able to really take control of the game at that point. And the Longhorns had to kind of battle back. But yeah, I guess we could say it was in doubt a little bit, but the Bruins are in pretty good position for the rest of that game, other than a little kind of fleeting moment when Texas pulled within three late. But it did get close to the end, and I do want to hear what the Godfather had to say about when it did get a little closer. So let's hear.
So let's do a little live commentary here. We're at 6:20 left to be played in the game. Bruins have had a good start to the fourth quarter. They lead 40-30 right now.
Out of bounds, Bruins ball.
Kiki Rice made a big three-pointer. I don't even think she scored anything in the first half, but she's got 7 points now. Lauren Betts has 12. Gabriela Jaquez has 10 for the Bruins. Here's a pass in to Lauren Betts, and she scores right from underneath. And that gives the Bruins their biggest lead in the game. 42-30 now. UCLA up by 12 with 6 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that was when the Bruins took control of the game. But now the Godfather's going to talk about the end of the game, with just, I think, just under 15 seconds left to play. And the Bruins are up by 3.
We have 14.8 seconds to go. And the Bruins lead 47-44. They've squandered a 13-point lead. Pass into Kiki Rice, and she's fouled with 13.3 seconds to go. That is the 5th team foul on Texas here in this 4th quarter. So Kiki is going to go to the free throw line. Even one free throw would be huge. Kiki's made a couple of key free throws here in the second half. There was a 3-point game at halftime. There was a 3-point game for the Bruins still after 3 quarters. The Bruins then built the lead up to 13, but now Texas has brought it back to 3. All right, here's Kiki with the free throw. It's good. That's huge, and the Bruins have a 48-44 lead here. One more for Kiki Rice. She has 8 points in the game. It's up, and it is good.
Straight ball.
And that's a 5-point lead for the Bruins with just 13.3 seconds to go, and Texas calls a timeout.
And the Godfather, Jim Bendat, certainly was right. The 3 was the magic number for this game, and Texas seemed to always be floating around that deficit with the Bruins. Even when the Bruins broke it out, they got back to that 3. But Kiki Rice seals the deal with a couple free throws. I think she makes another couple after that. But the Bruins are going to go on to win the game and advance to the championship against South Carolina. And let's hear how the Godfather wraps it up for us.
Texas bringing the ball in here. 12 seconds to go in the game. They take it in, and the Texas player falls down. Now the number 00 shoots, and she misses. Rebound is taken by Angela Dugulich. It went off to Kiki Rice. Rice is fouled. It's just 3.1 seconds to go in the game, and the Bruins are going to win this game and advance to the championship game on Sunday against South Carolina.
Texas foul number 3, Mary Herman, first personal. Bruins on the bonus.
Pretty excited. Excuse me for not knowing the names of the Texas players, but that's okay. I know Madison Booker is their best player, and she's only got 6 points in the whole game. So the Bruins have really shut her down. Kiki getting ready to go to the free throw line. It's all over but the shouting now. The Bruins will be playing for their first NCAA championship and their first championship game, of course, since 1978. Rice puts the first free throw in. It's 50-44. One more free throw for Rice, and that'll be it. So we'll stick with it here because we are enjoying this moment. This one is good also, and it's 51-44. UCLA.
Braves for Lori Harmon.
Substitution for Texas. And here comes some substitutions in for UCLA.
Checking in for the Bruins now, number 3, Christina Karamozzi. And number 9, Lena Billich. Along with 33, Amanda Muse. And number 16, Sienna Betts.
So I just let the PA announcer give you the action there as the substitutes came in. Texas passes it in, and the clock runs out. That's the horn, and the game is over. And the final score is UCLA 51, Texas 44. Way to go, Bruins. We'll see you on Sunday.
Now, that is some great reporting, and thank you once again to the Godfather, Jim Bendat, author of Democracy's Big Day, retired public defender, and all around just awesome dude. And him and his wonderful wife, Marilyn the Saint, were in Phoenix at the game, reporting live for the What's Bruin Show. So thank you very much. Thank you to them, and thank you to Nancy and Carrie the week before as well. It was wonderful. And then also thanks to Bob and his sons, who we're going to hear from in just a minute as well. But, geez, the end of this game, you think about the defensive slugfest this really was, and I don't know how enjoyable it was to actually watch this sort of game. It kind of reminded me of the Lakers versus Celtics Ron Artest Kobe game back in like 2010 or 2011, whenever that was, when neither the Celtics nor the Lakers could like hit a shot to save their lives, and Ron Artest had to come and save the Lakers in that game for them to win the title in that Game 7. But just think about the Godfather. I think her number was 00. It was Booker, whoever Booker was, is Texas' best player, one of their best players all year long, but she ended up being 3 for 23. Yeah, Madison Booker, number 35, I'm sorry. And sheesh, 3 for 23 for that game. Just absolutely just miserable shooting performance for her in the game. She was 3 for 23. The rest of the team was 17 for 42. So if she doesn't miss all those shots, Texas shoots about the same percentage as the Bruins in the game. But as it is, they shot 31%. And 22% from behind the arc, and only 40% from the free throw line. They only were 2 for 5. The referees certainly swallowed their whistles for the majority of this game. The only reason the Bruins had 12 free throws is because, like 4 or 6 of them were just down the stretch, the fouling aspect of the game. Both teams ended up with, in the 6 to 8 free throw range of free throws in this game. And when you looked at how they were wrestling and all the contact and all of that happened during this game, it's just mind-boggling, but you can understand why the free throw totals were so low. Not an issue, and it was just who could make a few shots, and the Bruins were able to make a few more shots. Really, the definitive part of this game was the Bruins ended up 4 for 13 from three-point land, and Texas only 2 for 9. And the Bruins just scrapped together a few more, they were better from the free throw line, 11 for 12. And that was that. Just a gritty, wonderful, gutsy performance by the Bruins, and we're happy that they're going on to the championship game. So with that being said, let's hear from Bob and his kids. They also had a hotline call calling after the game, and we appreciate them.
What's up, What's Bruin Show? This is Bob. This is Stinson. Go Bruins. Go Bruins. Basin in the back. Big fans. We called you pregame. We are calling you postgame.
Thank you.
We will be playing for the what, Stinson? National championship. I don't even believe it. What a game. Incredible. The arena was live. Good UCLA presence, although UConn was a lot of UConn fans there.
Ah.
What are we going to – UConn's gone.
They're going home now.
They gone. What do we got to say? Great victory. So hard fought. Tremendous. Great defense whole game, but boy, we couldn't score. We have got to be able to beat the press. If I am South Carolina, I'm pressing us all game. We've got to get some of our bigs down court and just go 2 guards to beat that press, I think. Anyway, Lauren Betts had a great game. Great game. When we needed her, she delivered. That 3 that Kiki Rice hit was absolutely insane. Also, big news in the arena. We saw, who did we see from the men's team? Trent Perry and Eric Daly. And Jamerson, we think. Did Trent Perry and Eric Daly sign something for you? I went to the bar, got a pen, and went over and got a signature. That's my guy. Got their signatures. A lot of people saying Trent Perry's not coming back. But, boy, he was cheering for the women tonight. Hope to see him back at the Bruins.
Very cool.
All right. Well, now we're here all weekend. We're coming to the national title game. We will be there to cut down the nets. We love it. Great show. Correspondence from Phoenix. Yeah. We out. Go Bruins.
Good job, guys. Thank you very much for the call, and keep calling in. Call us for the championship game as well. We'll have you and the Godfather all reporting, and we'll take it all. So thank you once again. The Bruins play against South Carolina on Sunday at 12:30. I think it was on ABC, if I remember right, whatever channel it's going to be on. And, hey, let's go. The women's basketball team, hopefully going to win their first NCAA title, first title since the 70s, and first title of the NCAA tournament era. So thank you once again to, last week, Carrie and Nancy. Thank you this week to the Godfather and the Saint Maryland. And thanks for calling in, Bob and Basin Stinson. That's awesome. You guys are all very cool. I'm glad you guys are having a good time out there. And if you see Mike, say hi to him. He's out there reporting. He'll be at practice. And he was at the game as well. And look, it was a fun time. Bruins are going to the championship. Hopefully they're going to win the championship. And until then, hey, go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh, my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out.
Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rob, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.